Our Isles and Oceans is a youth opportunity, a professional development programme aimed at developing sustainable livelihoods, and it's been developed in response to the circumstances that we've been faced with in a post-pandemic and post-Brexit.
Clipper Ventures has partnered this year with Our Isles and Oceans, and we're really just providing the platform for this project and the platform for giving youth that have been heavily affected by the pandemic an opportunity to reevaluate their lives, to work as a team, and to leave with some skills that really enable them to take a step forward.
This has been a long time in planning. The Clipper Round the World Yacht Race is well known. It's something that has produced some amazing world sailors.
I am Dan and I am 23 and I am the current skipper of the Our Isles and Oceans project.
So originally I was no experience, and then saw an advert for the Clipper race back in 2013.
I got involved with Clipper when I actually did the race as a crew member in the 17-18 race, and I went around the world then.
So the Our Isles and Oceans vision is to have a winning yacht in the Round the World Yacht Race by training up to 120 young people, but we're bringing people from all parts of the community in, giving them the chance to prove or to test themselves.
An ambassador is someone that is going to benefit from all of the kind of objectives that we have within Our Isles and Oceans, and we really were just looking for someone that kind of, you know, sparked our attention, had an interesting story, and just really kind of painted a picture of how they might benefit from this, you know, from this project.
I am Harry Hunter and I'm from the east side of Scotland, Fife in Kennelly. I've never really done anything like this. Obviously I'm just a landscaper, so most of my time's just doing gardens and doing stuff about the community. I had to apply for this after I saw it on Facebook because I was like, I'm not going to get this opportunity again.
I had a really tough year during the COVID pandemic. I got COVID in March 2020 and I never recovered, and I suffered from long COVID for a year with 7 months in bed. So this is my chance to get back to sailing, which I already do and I already love.
I'm pretty used to like kind of bouncing about different jobs and kind of being quite flexible, but yeah, I did lose a couple of jobs here and there. I've been working for a bit, not working for a bit, so I don't really have much. I've not really had much of a structure to my life, really, like since, but like kind of before coming here anyway.
I'm a carer, a support worker, and I have my own little business where I hand make things. I started that during the pandemic just to keep me a little bit busy because I actually lost a lot of work, obviously with restrictions and stuff. My main clients are my grandparents. I've been caring for them for quite a few years now. They've got dementia, so for them not being able to see other people and explaining why, you know, other people weren't coming, and it's quite hard and challenging at times, but yeah, it's very, very enjoyable, very rewarding because people sort of bring out the best bits of me, and when I spend too much time alone I end up quite low and miserable, to put it quite frankly. So yeah, lockdown wasn't easy.
Our ambassadors all set sail from Oban and headed out between Carrera and Dunstaffnage, up the Sound of Mull towards Tobermory. Along the way they learned how to tack and all the basic knot tying skills they would need to get their first taste of sailing.
I don't have any experience whatsoever in this, but today's been such an experience and such an eye-opener. Just even the views, like just going through the water, seeing all the islands on the side or the mainland and all the different houses and the different trees and just the mountains and everything about it is, it's not just the sailing. That's what I love about it. It's like sailing's amazing and it's a huge part, but it's the whole experience.
I would say that the East Coast is obviously, it's a nice place, it really is, but the West Coast is so much, it's so much more beautiful with all the landscape, with all the water. It's clear water out there, it's beautiful.
The next challenge our ambassadors faced was adjusting to life on the boat. They not only had to learn how to sail, but had to adjust to cooking on the boat, sleeping on the boat, and even using the heads.
Before this, I thought, it was going to be sort of 90% was just going to be the sailing aspect, being on deck, working with lines, all that kind of stuff. And actually, it's really evenly split between, socially making sure you're getting along well and keeping morale up, and then just cooking, cleaning, general maintenance, all the other kind of side of sailing that you don't necessarily see as much. Essentially the stuff that goes on below deck.
But I just think as a whole, living with a bunch of strangers that you've just met in a small space is quite challenging in itself. Just like your normal kind of day-to-day routines kind of affected. Like you can't just go for a shower when you want. It's kind of hard to get away from people when maybe you might need a minute to yourself, I'd say.
I didn't sleep that well. Just like with the motions of being in your bunk, and like 1 minute you're over one side and you're on the other side.
First night sleeping sucked because of this. This creaks a lot in the night.
I slept really well. The bunks are actually really comfortable.
If you're unhappy when you're sailing, you're out there. You can't do. You're stuck out there. So you have to persevere through whatever you're doing. There's no other option because you can't swim because it's pretty cold.
Sailing wasn't the only activity that our ambassadors got to experience. They also got to experience what Tobermory had to offer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm really dry.
Yeah, I know, I was going.
However, it wasn't plain sailing for our ambassadors. Some of them had to face an invisible enemy: seasickness.
Well, I think I had probably close to the lowest moment. I was the lucky one out of the bunch that got the seasickness, and that was pretty tough, especially more because I wanted to be out on deck. If you've ever been in a car and got a little bit car sick because you were reading, it's like that, only a lot worse because you can't just put the book down, look out the window, or stick your head out.
Me, it's probably the being below deck when things are choppy. I kind of suffer quite a lot from motion sickness, so it was just sort of the below deck sort of learning the balance and just feeling it's just a bit strange. But yeah, that was probably the moment that I kind of had to, it was very new for me and just sort of had to adapt to it.
Sure, I mean, you never know when seasickness is going to hit. It hits the best people, so I would definitely recommend anybody try it that just wants to push themselves and try something new. And like I said, we've been well looked after this week. We've had a lovely week. Just be prepared that it might not go exactly as you planned.
Everything our ambassadors have worked on up till now has culminated with a night sail.
Completely different to day sailing, and I hope, most of these guys on here haven't had any experience of night sailing, so really hope they're going to enjoy it for the next 24 hours or so.
We were the second group on the night shift, so we did the kind of 4 hours on, 4 hours off rotation. And one of the scariest things I would say is just lying in that bunk and hearing the waves crashing and banging off the side of the boat, and the boat was going from side to side. It was really scary.
It was when we were sailing at night, about 11 o'clock on the first watch, and I was at the helm, and you couldn't see a thing, basically, and so you were just having to sail off instinct almost, hold your course and just feel what the boat was doing under you, and hope that it was all going to go well essentially.
A few people were feeling particularly low, and someone had the bright idea to bring out a packet of Jammy Dodgers, which was really needed at the time. And I'm a Torean, so I really love my food. And it was that, I think that was my highlight. That was my absolute favourite moment, was having a Jammy Dodger at 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of the ocean in the dark.
Our eyes adjusted to being able to see in like a very, very dark sky, which we started noticing that the ripples of the waves were kind of like shining, and there was a lot of bioluminescence in the water, and then a huge pod of dolphins, maybe, I would guess maybe 15, 20 dolphins or so, joined the boat and stayed with the boat for about maybe 5-10 minutes or so. It was just like absolutely stunning how these like streaks of light were just racing through the water, and then as they were splashing back into the water, you'd get like another big splash of like an explosion of bioluminescence around them. That was one of those moments where I like, there were several points while watching that I was pinching myself, thinking like, this could conceivably have been a dream.
With the break of dawn and the night sail firmly behind them, the ambassadors head back to Oban, where their journey first began. Along the way, they reflected on their journey.
I would definitely recommend this to anybody, absolutely anybody. And if you've never sailed before, you've got to, because it gives you the biggest adrenaline rush when you're on the, it's so amazing.
I've just gained a lot more confidence in like jumping into something new, and just got a bit more confidence in myself and my kind of learning ability, and like I just realised like I can do stuff a lot of the time, don't need to doubt myself all the time.
I found my voice. I'm naturally quite a quiet person, and by the end I felt that I was getting myself sort of louder and louder and more confident.
Meeting these lot has shown me that I can actually talk to people and get to know people without like being anxious about it and stuff. But
this has definitely been like one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had, especially after such a hard time. And I just want to say thank you so much for giving me a chance to do it. I still can't believe I got picked.
If I could and I had the opportunity, I would like to thank everyone involved that made this all happen, because it's just been so important. I think not just for me but for everyone here. I've made so many new friends. We've all sat around and we've discussed we are coming back and we're going to do this all again.
I've really not done a lot of socialising because I've been really scared to get COVID again, but I've also been really my confidence and my personality has really been knocked by like such a horrific experience of being so unwell by a virus and having no like underlying health condition that would cause me to be susceptible as well. So it's just been incredible being able to come and do it and meet all the people that are also ambassadors as well, and the crew. It's just been amazing. It's just like a once in a lifetime thing, and I'm just never going to forget it.
A lot of them at the beginning, when they arrive, they're a little bit hesitant. Obviously there's a bit of group dynamic, getting to know the other people, getting to know us, but very much also a sailboat and then a big sailing boat like this, and for a lot of them that's very, very new. And we take them out onto the water and we work with them as a team, and 3-4 days later it's a complete change in personality, more energy, proud of themselves of what they achieved. Hopefully really getting into sailing and making plans how to do more of it and get better out of it. So it's been amazing.
And they're just going off with just completely different people with like newfound confidence, a sense of achievement, and you know, they've made friends for life hopefully.
I found it hugely rewarding seeing their stories as they come through the week, and then at the end of the week seeing their feedback, showing how much it's helped them grow with their social skills after being isolated throughout lockdown. It's really good to see teams coming together and just building new friendships out on the water. I've also seen a lot of people develop their sailing skills and actually now messaging me about how they want to go on to a day skipper and further qualifications and how to get into the sailing industry as a whole.
And it's just really been, as much for them, it has been for us, just really uplifting to provide an opportunity that's just you know, every group is left with huge smiles on their faces, a kind of renewed sense of positivity and looking forward to the future.